it is that time of the week again. It is Live with Kristy Wednesday. Wicked Wednesday, Werewolf Wednesday, whatever kind of Wednesday you are having this week. I'm having a great Wednesday. So how are you? Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, David. Hello, JB. How are you? I have a few people in. I have lots to talk about this week. I got 4 movies. We're going to talk about the podcast movie, which is House, the 80s movie House. Yes. So we will talk about that. I'm also going to be talking about Death Spa and Killer Workout. Random movies to talk about. And I'm going to talk about a new movie that kind of came out last year called Don't Look Away. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And a few other little subjects, some other stuff too. Hello, Dean. How are you? Hello, Ultra 7 Dave. How are you? Hello. We weren't able to go on Instagram with this. It said I couldn't go live again. Instagram. So I'm not on Instagram. Hello, you're helping your cousin move. Oh, well, that's always fun, moving. Right, Dean? Okay, so let's get to talking. So let's talk about the new movie that I watched first, and then we'll talk about the older movies. And I have a really cool thing here to show y'all. If y'all see, this is House. This is the house. Really cool collectible. I will talk about that as well. All right. So Don't Look Away. That, like I said, is a brand new movie that came out last year. It's about an hour and 23 minutes long. It is on Tubi. It started streaming on there. It's literally about a killer mannequin. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's a killer mannequin. So the face that you see on the poster, because when I posted it, everyone's like, oh, that looks creepy. That looks really creepy. Yeah, it looks creepy, but it's a mannequin. Now, with liking horror movies, we all know that, lots of different objects or things or people or whatever can all of a sudden come alive and kill you. And when I read this about a killer mannequin, I was like, okay, cool. I can be down for that, right? But I'm going to say this was probably a one-time watch for me. I give it pretty much a 5 out of 10. It's kind of mediocre in my opinion. Hello, Elaine. How are you? Thank you for joining in. So it starts off good. It starts off with a truck heist. You see that happening. A truck heist is happening. And while that's happening, the driver of the truck is like running around, gets out of the truck, runs around the truck, and then gets hit by a car. And the car that he's hit by ends up being Frankie, and she is the main character of the whole movie. So she hits this guy with the car. She sees this weird person, this weird thing after she hits him, and then doesn't see it. And the movie goes on from that. So what was in the truck was the mannequin, obviously. And with the truck heist, the robbers are like, oh, they open the box that the mannequin was in and like, oh, what's this? This is weird, kind of a thing. This is strange. And then, yeah. So the whole movie is the mannequin is now stalking Frankie and her friends throughout the movie. So it's like wherever she looks, that mannequin is there, kind of a thing. And they find out later on in the movie that they are supposed to stare at it. That's why it's called Don't Look Away. They're supposed to stare at it. Someone's supposed to stare at it all the time. So then if you stare at it, it won't move. And if it doesn't move, it's not going to kill anybody. Right? So, so yeah, her friends are basically trying to figure out what they need to do, how they need to get rid of this mannequin, what's going on, what's happening. And they end up finding this old man on the internet that knows what's going on, that's been through all this with this mannequin or something. And he ends up coming to them, to their town, to give them advice and to come help them out with getting rid of this mannequin. And that's how they find out where they're supposed to just keep staring at it. So then it's like her and her friends are taking turns staring at this mannequin so it doesn't move. Her boyfriend, though, Frankie's boyfriend, he does not believe in this mannequin. And he kind of, as the movie goes on, he kind of turns more and more into an asshole throughout the movie. And that's really about it. I mean, the guy that they have come help him, he's kind of part of the story, you find out towards the end, in a way. I don't know. It was a little odd there at the end of the movie. But yeah, that's basically it. They got to get rid of this mannequin. Now, the mannequin, at first, when you first start seeing him in the movie, at first I was like, oh God, we're never going to see this mannequin, right? Because at first, like, every time you see it, it's like in the background, it's kind of blurry, or it's just way far away and you really can't see what's happening. But then after a while, they do start showing the face of the mannequin, and you do actually get to see the mannequin a whole lot more. It is creepy. It looks more like a wooden mannequin with like just a really weird, creepy face on it. But there's this whole like thing attached to it, and this whole story attached to this mannequin that you find out later on in the movie. There's some bad CGI. I wrote that down. The acting and the characters I thought were all kind of a little bit boring and a little mediocre. So, I don't know. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mike. How are you? Hello, Doug. Hello, 666 the writer. How are you? Hello, Zombie Momsen. How are you? So yeah, if you're just joining in, we're talking about the movie Don't Look Away, brand new movie that just came out on Tubi. But yeah, there's not much more to the story, and it's a one-time watch for me. I mean, it was okay. I recommend you watching it at least once. I mean, maybe you might love it. You never know. I like the idea. I kind of like the idea of the mannequin thing, but the way it was executed in this movie, I'm sorry to everybody, but it was just a little bit ridiculous, I guess. I don't know how it could not be ridiculous, but I don't know. When I read the premise, I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And then it's just this mannequin that they're just putting here and putting there. And I don't know. It wasn't, I don't know. It wasn't exactly what I thought. Wasn't too exciting. But when I posted, everybody's like, ooh, the poster looks creepy, and everybody was really intrigued. So I do recommend at least watching it once, but it just wasn't, it was a one-time watch for me though, so It is not a painting. It is a collectible. It's a whole collectible. I'm about to talk about this here in just a second, because I'm about to talk about some house. So yeah, let's go watch Don't Look Away on Tubi, I suppose. Right? Okay, let's talk about House now, because we're asking about this, and I do want to talk about that. So House is our Nightmare Podcast movie this week. You can watch the Nightmare Podcast on Fridays. Me and Brian, we decided to do House because it is the anniversary to House. Today, February 28th, 1986 is when House came out. So there wasn't anything new to watch, so we just decided to do this. Love House. I grew up with House. Hello, Quentin. Hello, everybody. Hey, Noah. Hey, JB. Don't Look Away. 5 out of 10. Yes, 5 out of 10. House, I give a 10 though. So House, I'm sure everybody knows all about House though, right? You got Roger Cobb. He's a writer, Vietnam vet. His son is missing. His wife just divorced him, his aunt just died, and now Roger is wanting to stay in his aunt's old, creepy, haunted house to write his new book about his experiences with Vietnam. Plus, his child had disappeared while him and his wife had stayed at the house. Disappeared in the swimming pool, just disappeared. So, and they have not found his son, so he's wanting to, again, stay at his aunt's house. Maybe he can find answers about his son, and he can write his book about Vietnam. Well, while this is all happening, the house is haunted. There's tons of different creatures messing with him, garden tools flying at him and trying to kill him, swordfish on the wall flopping away, lots of great practical effects in this movie. It's filled with practical effects. Everything is extremely cool looking. Film director Steve Miner, we know him from Friday the 13th movies, tons of different movies. Steve Miner's done a lot of different things. The writer, Fred Decker, we know him from Monster Squad and Night of the Creeps. Producer, Sean S. Cunningham, again, Friday the 13th. A lot of Friday the 13th attached to House. The score is Harry Manfredini, who also did the score for Friday the 13th. And the stunt coordinator is Kane Hodder. If you did not know that, there's your fun fact for the day, that Kane Hodder was stunt coordinator for House. Actors, actresses, all awesome in this movie. They chose people that were famous at the time for their popular TV series that they were in. So they didn't want big named movie actors or movie actresses. They wanted TV people. So we got William Catt, who plays Roger Cobb. Obviously, he was the greatest American hero. That was a show I never watched, actually. I never watched The Greatest American Hero. I actually just knew William Catt from Carrie and from House. So, there's that. George Wendt, he's from Cheers. Richard Mull, who was from Night Court. And Kay Lenz, who plays his ex-wife, who actually plays an actress in the movie. She was in tons of TV shows and specials and stuff back in the 80s. What are y'all saying? Real quick. The first horror movies you've seen as a kid. Oh, that's awesome to know that that's one of your first horror movies. That's so great. I'm not sure where at in my watching that I had watched House, but I know I grew up with it. It was on HBO all the time, and my parents ended up recording it for me. So I had it on my beta tapes, recorded. So I watched it all the time in my bedroom from that. Oh, okay. It is a great gateway, yes. Watchers with Dakota Fanning just saw the Dead Pit is going to do a reaction video of the trailer today. Yeah, I seen something about Watchers, but I haven't paid much attention to it online. Right now, everybody's talking about The Crow. I didn't watch The Greatest American Hero. I don't know why I didn't watch that. Yes, I was alive. I just didn't watch that show. I was watching like Who's the Boss and Mr. Belvedere and stuff like that. That's what I was watching. Okay, so first off, I want to say the house in-house is extremely cool, and here it is. Let's talk about this. Here's my DVD. I need to upgrade to the Blu-ray. Don't know why I have not done that yet, but here is my DVD. It does have a 12-minute making of on here, which was very interesting. I have another fun fact for y'all from the making. I will tell y'all in a minute. So a fan of the store and of mine came in the store a long time ago and gave me this particular collectible. So this was a promotional thing that came out back in the 80s. Brian kind of talked about it a lot more on the podcast because he kind of knew more about this. But this is what they sent to the video stores. It had the VHS on the inside for promotion back in the 80s. Now, I do not have the VHS that was inside. I don't have that. The person took that out before giving this to me. But yeah, there's a case. Like you can open it and you can see where the VHS was right here. I think Brian accidentally tore that little thing off. It'd be all right. I don't care. And this actually lights up. The whole thing lights up. There's batteries in here, but it doesn't work right now. The batteries are dead. I need to get new batteries. But when you turn it on, it lights up all the windows in the house. Now, how freaking cool is that? Why don't they make promotional stuff like this anymore? Like, how cool? So, yeah, it hangs up here in the store. So it's at the store for you to look at. It is not to purchase. Everybody always asks, oh, can I buy that? No, it is mine. I just don't have any room at home in my collection at this point to put it at home. So we just have it here at the store so everybody can look at it and ask every day, can I buy that? Can I buy that? No, you cannot. But yeah, it's very cool. And it's just like, it reminds me of like the old Barbie cases from the 80s. I mean, that's the material. It's just like the old Barbie cases. For real. I love it. So there's that. So if you come in the store and you see that, no, it's not for sale. What are y'all saying? Two great shows. Oh, yes. Believe it or not, I'm flying on air. Oh. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Yeah, it's very rare. I've never seen anybody post this. I've never seen anybody have it or anything. And when this particular person, I'm sorry, I cannot remember who it was now, came in and brought this to me, I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because I've never seen it. And I still have never seen anybody post it. So I'm pretty excited to own that. Okay, so anyway, so for the word for the day is solitude, right? Gotta have solitude. I do want to say some of my favorite moments in the movie. I loved Sandy's purple dress. I've always loved the purple dress that Sandy's wearing. Sandy is Kaylin's. One of my favorite moments is the swordfish. I always thought that was funny. It gave me a little chuckle when I was a little girl. I thought it was just funny. But it's the whole scene. So you got the swordfish comes alive, and then you got the garden tools, right? I love the garden tools. It's such an easy practical effect. Cheap and easy practical effect, but so effective and so much fun. I always thought the garden tools were fun. So there's my fun fact is this. In the making of this on my DVD, they had said, and I did not know this, so of course the garden tools are being hung by fishing wire, obviously. And to get rid of the glare on fishing wire so you don't see it in the movie, they use clear spray paint. Yeah, clear spray paint. That's all it is. So it showed they had all the garden tools hung, and it showed this guy just with spray paint just going around and just spraying the air. It looks like he's spraying the air, but he's spraying it on the fishing wires and just spraying it all over. And then that's why you don't see it in the movie, the fishing wire. I never knew that. That's a fun fact for me. I thought that was pretty cool. Cheap and easy way to fix a problem, right? Just use a little spray paint. Hello, Trico. How are you? I have no room for bookshelves. I have no room in my collection for anything else pretty much, unless it's like something small. Like I just have no room anywhere at all. Oh, see, y'all are watching. I haven't watched any trailers today. I haven't seen anything. Brian was just showing me the trailer to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, but something happened and I had to go and I didn't get to finish watching that trailer. But I haven't watched any trailers, so I didn't get to watch the one with the Watchers. I'm behind, I guess. The medicine cabinet in the house was really cool to me. I always thought that was really fun. Him going in the medicine cabinet, and I always thought that was kind of spooky. Him just kind of going into nothing on a rope, and that's it. You're only there with a rope, and there's nothing else, and you can't see. And I thought that was kind of creepy and spooky. But my favorite, obviously, is Big Ben. I've got the shirt from Cavity Colors. Big Ben, to me, was scary. The whole rest of the movie, I thought was fun, and I'm smiling. But once it got to Big Ben, I would get really freaked out. Like, I was really kind of scared by that character. And I think because it's more of a real character, you know? I think he's way scarier than, like, Michael or Jason or any of that. Freddy's pretty scary, though. And it's an underrated character. It would have been cool to have just a whole movie evolved around him. That would have been cool. But the whole makeup and the whole everything that they did for Big Ben is insanely amazing. The guts and the intestines and the bones, and his one leg was just one big bone, and then his clothes. I mean, it's so amazing. Like, I can't even with it. But not a lot of things scared me with horror movies when I was a kid. It really didn't. I really didn't get scared too much. I've said this before, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, the beginning sequence and with the bus, and then the ground falls around the bus with Freddy in the bus, that scared me, that little part. The seance in The Changeling, the seance, Joseph, that scared me. And Big Ben in house scared me. Other than that, that's it. Those are like the three things. Very odd and weird, huh? But he's scary. Hello, Lester. How are you? Yeah, you can shoot any videos or pictures or whatever you want to do in the store. Yep. You can do whatever you want. I don't tell anybody no. Let's see. Two really good songs, too. You've got You're No Good and Dedicated to the One I Love. You're no good, you're no good. I love that song. Every time I hear it, I think of House. But yeah, just a fun 80s cheese horror movie. I don't think I've ever seen anybody say they hated this movie. But if people said they did, I can see it, maybe. You know, I can see that. The comedy in it might not be for everybody. I don't know. Maybe for a new generation now may not like it. I don't know. Let's not remake it. Do not remake House. There's no need to. Don't do it. Hollywood, are you listening? Because you have done ticked off people about The Crow right now. Jeez. Which I'll talk about momentarily. We'll talk about The Crow in a minute. I'm sure everybody wants to talk about that. Zelda from Pet Sematary. See, okay. Glad you brought that up. A lot of people say that about Zelda and the Pet Sematary movies. A lot of people say that scared them. Didn't scare me. Didn't scare me at all. I don't know why, but that is something that everybody can agree upon, though. The new Crow looks stupid. How do y'all know that it looks stupid when we only got pictures so far? We'll talk about it in a minute. Trust me. I want to talk about Death Spa and Killer Workout. I got to talk about those because they're underrated, underappreciated, and everybody needs to know about Death Spa and Killer Workout, okay? She is fun. She is pretty scary looking, but it never scared me. She never freaked me out. Death Spa is cheesy fun. I'm glad you said that, OGP. Thank you. Oh, hey, that horror couple. Thank you for coming on in. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Let me tell you why I'm doing Death Spa and Killer Workout. I will tell you why. I just did a podcast, the Creepy and Geeky podcast. His name is Robert Clark. He's the one that does that podcast. And he does a podcast where it's like, two different movies to talk about two different movies, kind of like a versus type thing. And I chose this. I think this is a fantastic double feature. If you have not seen these, it's a great double feature, and they're both on Tubi. But Creepy and Geeky podcast, make sure you watch the episode. He said that it will air on March 18th. So that'll be that episode where me and him talk about these movies. I didn't get a chance to watch much of anything else. So since I had already watched these movies for that podcast and wrote notes, I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it on here too. Why not? I've been talking about new movies for forever now. There's not really anything new that I really want to watch at the moment. The Don't Look Away movie was really the only movie I was interested in kind of seeing. So why not talk about Death Spa and Killer Workout? Now, another thing, when I posted about this, that I was watching this, everybody had something to say about Death Spa. No one was saying anything about Killer Workout. So is that because y'all have not seen Killer Workout and you've only seen Death Spa? Or is it because you just prefer Death Spa? I would like to know the answer to that. Because everybody just kind of mentioned Death Spa. No one really mentioned Killer Workout. Killer Workout is a slasher. Death Spa is more supernatural. So if you're really into the cheesy slasher stuff like me, you're really going to like Killer Workout if you haven't seen it. Just want to say and put that out there. Be the Crow. Yeah. It is great cheesy stuff. The Crow would be an interesting video game adaptation, I think. You haven't seen Killer Workout. Okay, so let's talk about these then. Yay. I'm always down to talk about 80s movies. I'm always down to talk about 80s cheese, and especially if they're movies that some other people haven't seen yet. I love Death Spa and Killer Workout. Okay. Killer Workout, like I said, is more of a slasher. This one came out in 1987. It is about an hour and 25 minutes long. It was also called Aerobicide. So if you see something that says Aerobicide, they're actually talking about Killer Workout. The original title was Aerobicide, and then they changed it to Killer Workout. So you've got Rhonda. She is the main character, and it's her gym, and it's called Rhonda's Workout. That's the name of the gym. Rhonda's Workout. But the movie does begin with a girl in a tanning bed, and you see her get burned in the tanning bed, and that's the whole beginning of the movie. And then it kind of cuts to later, which you don't know that, but it cuts to later. And then you've got Rhonda's Workout, and all of a sudden, everybody in the gym is starting to die. There's someone killing everybody in there. Like, what's happening, And the one of the really cool things, there's like a little Easter egg in the movie, which is kind of cool. There's these two girls, which is weird that it's girls, because usually they show guys tagging stuff in movies. Like, it's always guys that are graffiti artists. But in this movie, there's these two girls, and they think it's hilarious. And they go to the window of her gym, and they spray paint Aerobicide on there. But they also spray paint Death Spa. Then Death Spa comes out a couple years later. So there you go. So when you're watching Killer Workout, pay attention to that scene where the girls are spray painting the stuff. And they're spray painting that on the window because, killings are happening. So now they're calling it Death Spa and doing all that. They think they're funny. But basically, that's what it is. You get this whole really weird twist ending, though, on who it is. And then there's this cop that's involved, trying to figure out who's killing. And he gets really weird at the end of the movie, too. I don't want to... So since y'all haven't seen Killer Workout, I'm not going to spoil that for y'all. But there is like a little twist ending. There always has to be a twist ending. But the fight sequences in this movie are hilarious. They're so cheesy. It's like So these two guys start fighting, and it's like they barely even they barely even touch each other. It's so funny. But the whole movie, you've got the 80s soundtrack, the music, the song that goes on is She's a Knockout. Like all throughout the movie, she's a knockout. She's a knockout, like all throughout the whole movie, this song, and it's so 80s cheese with the synthesizers, and everything screams 80s in this movie. I absolutely love it, down to the outfits, the outfits and the hair, the music, the ambiance in the gym, and you got tons of boobs. So don't worry about that. You've got tons of boobs in this movie. Good ones, too. Just saying. So you got everything you need in an 80s slasher movie. And it's a workout movie. You cannot go wrong with Killer Workout. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. I love all the aerobic sequences because they'll show the aerobic classes happening, and it's so 80s because they have to show all the girls in their leotards, and then they're doing motions that look like they're, for whatever weird reason, 80s aerobic workout videos back in the day were like the hot thing for guys to watch to get excited, if you know what I mean. What's his face is watching it in Friday the 13th. At the hospital, remember? He's watching the girls do their aerobics. What is it? What is that? Part 4, right? Part 4. So it's a thing. So you get these sequences in this movie that it's just the aerobics class. You just see the girls bouncing up and down, booties going, boobs going. They're doing their aerobics. It's so funny. I love it. I love it so much, y'all. There's nothing bad I can say about this movie. And yeah, that's basically Killer Workout. Your typical slasher. I will say this, one of the first kills that you get in the movie is with a giant safety pin. So back in the day, I don't know if any of y'all remember. I don't know. I remember. But back in the day, there used to be like key rings, but they were big safety pins, but you can stick your keys on them. But it was still like an actual safety pin. It had the pointy thing on it, but you stick your keys on it. So the first kill is with this giant safety pin, which is kind of interesting. But the safety pin comes into play again in the movie. So be on the lookout for the safety pin. And you'll see it with the twist ending as well. So the safety pin is key. But it's cool. Again, you get the blood, the boobs, the 80s hair, the 80s music, the 80s clothes. I mean, it's 80s, 80s, 80s. There was nobody in this particular movie that I knew as far as actors or actresses go. I didn't know anybody in this movie. In Death Spa, though, there's a lot of actors and actresses in Death Spa that we all know from other movies or other TV shows. So that's pretty cool about Death Spa. But everybody in Killer Workout was like no name people, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Death Spa. Before I get into Death Spa, let me read what y'all are saying. Raven of Stories. I like that name. No, I'm not into The Crow. I'll go ahead and say that right now. I am going to talk about The Crow. Once I get done talking about this, I will talk about The Crow. Yes. I love Friday the 13th Part 4, so I can't forget that. And the actor in that scene, he was also in the Police Academy movies as well, if you didn't know that. Okay, so Death Spa. It came out in 1988, so it came out after the Killer Workout. And like I said, there's a little tagging on a window that says Death Spa and Killer Workout. So maybe that was, maybe that's how they got the name. I don't know. But Death Spa is more supernatural. It's a supernatural movie because the spa is actually haunted and killing people. So there's not a person. And then there's a whole story around that. It does get a little complex with the story in this. But okay. You get boobs and you get full nudity. Full nudity in Death Spa. I don't remember full nudity in Killer Workout. I do remember lots of boobs. But this one you get full nudity. You have a whole shower scene, which I wrote down is one of my favorite parts in Death Spa. The shower scene where you see everybody, yes, full nude. And everybody looks nice. Everybody's great. And let me tell you who's in this shower. Now, this is where there's actresses and actors in this movie that we all know. One of the actresses in this movie played Carlton's sister on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I can't remember what her name is right now, but she was the sister, the older sister. She's in Death Spa. And you get to see the tatas. But the shower scene is great. It's one of my favorites because the tiles, on the little square tiles on the wall in the shower, start flying off. They're all showering and they're all joking and being sexy and whatever and talking. And then all of a sudden, all these shower tiles just start flying off and hitting them. And then they're all running out of the shower. It's pretty interesting. It's fun because you can see sometimes if you look real closely, when one of the tiles flies off, you can see what was behind that tile for them to make it fly off. They didn't cover that up very well. You can kind of tell that. So, but I just thought that was I don't know. It's so simple and easy, cheesy type of thing. And I just loved it. All these little tiles flying off and hitting them while they're running around naked. But anywho's, yes. Hello, Halloween King Myers. How are you? Yes. Ken Foree is also in Death Spa. You are correct. So this spa is called the Star Body Health Spa. So you had Rhonda's Workout, Star Body Health Spa. And yes, Ken Foree's in this. I love him. He's wearing the short shorts and all that. And he's working out. This one begins with a girl in a sauna. And there's a mishap in the sauna, and now that particular girl is blind from the sauna. And now she is staying with one of the owners of the spa. Now, the owner of the spa, his name is Michael. The whole backstory in this is that his wife is passed away. She had committed suicide. What had happened, the whole backstory is that she gave birth. Something happened to her back when she was giving birth. She became paralyzed, and then she committed suicide by fire. She lit herself on fire. So the main actor in this, Michael, who owns the spa, that was his wife. So then you find out that it's his wife, supposedly, who is haunting the spa. There's more of a twist at the end. I won't spoil it for people who have not seen Death Spa, but you get a little more of a twist at the end, and you find out, what's actually going on and who it is and all that stuff. So the backstory is a little complex because you've got that going on. You got his ex-wife. He's having flashbacks of that, so that's happening. The spa is going crazy. And then you have two other owners of the spa that are supposed to be his friends, but they're trying to sabotage him so they can take over the spa. So that's kind of happening within the story as well. So you do find out that some of the things that had happened with the spa were actually done by those two people, but then the other things they can't explain. And then his ex-wife also had a brother, a twin brother, who still works for him at the spa and who is the one that controls the spa. Like, he controls all the computers and all the controls for everything, because the spa is real high tech to where he can lock everybody's lockers himself, make the exercise equipment do stuff and all kinds of stuff. So all that is happening. That's how people are dying. Like exercise equipment goes crazy. The shower tiles, all kinds of weird things are happening within the spa. But his ex-brother-in-law is a little crazy, a little weird, and he's the one kind of, controlling everything in the spa, so they kind of think it's him. But again, you find out the whole full story at the end on what's actually going on. Lots of blood. I feel like there's more blood and more gore in Death Spa than there is in Killer Workout. There's some practical effects in Death Spa too. There's a few moments that are a little odd. Like there's something that happens with a dead fish. You just have to watch the movie. And that's one of the practical effects. It's funny. It's cool. It's a cool practical effect, like something you would see in a house. But so there's a lot of practical effects in this one. Let's see. There's a cool costume party that's happening too. So they have a costume party at the spa, just to get more people in, and get into the spa. And of course, things are happening at the costume party. It's cool to see people's costumes too. And I swear to you, I have to go back and look again. But I swear to God, I seen very briefly someone wearing the H3 witch mask. I swear to God, I seen it. I have to go back and look. So that was just kind of fun, the costume party and everything going along with it. Like I said, there's a lot more blood and gore in Death Spa. And then there's this whole asparagus scene. Asparagus, yes. So the the owner, Michael, brings the girl that had gotten injured in the sauna and now she's blind, brings her home. And he kind of they have the hots for each other now that his ex-wife is gone. And so it shows this whole cheesy scene. I've never seen asparagus be so sexy. But there's this whole cheesy scene where, she's got the stuff on her eyes. She can't see, and she's sitting in the chair. But yet, a minute ago, like she's doing this. But now her hair's up and all fancy. She's all dressed all fancy. And they're having dinner. And he's feeding her an asparagus. And the way they're doing it, it's like so sexualized. And then after they show that, then of course they show them. Yeah. So, yeah, the asparagus is funny. I didn't realize you can make asparagus sexy, but okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you like my shirt. They should have used clear spray paint, right? I totally agree. Utes? No, I never heard of those. U2's collectibles? No, I don't think I've heard of those. And if I have, I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. Asparagus. Hey, Charles, how are you? Set the mood with some asparagus. Robbie, I love you. Yeah, that's going to be in my next OnlyFans video. Me and asparagus. Philip's like, what? It's worth a watch just for the asparagus scene. But anyway, loved Death Spa. I mean, for me, 10 out of 10 for both movies. Like I said, they are a fantastic double feature because they are different. They're similar, but different because you got the slasher film and then you got the supernatural film. But yet they're both about gyms, workout places, and they're both very 80s. I think I liked the 80s look as far as all the outfits, the hair, the music, what the gym looked like. I think I liked it better in Killer Workout. But I did like the fact that this one had a lot more gore, blood, and practical effects in it. And a lot more boobs. I'm always down for that. So, yeah. Both are excellent movies. Great double feature. And they are both on Tubi. So please go watch. All right, guys. That That's my 4 movies. So Death Spa, Killer Workout on Tubi. Don't Look Away is also on Tubi. That's the newer movie I talked about. And House is also on Tubi. So everything's on Tubi, right? Yay! Yay for Tubi. And Tubi is free. Which leads me into my next discussion. I'm seeing everybody post about Netflix. I know Netflix is raising their prices again. I am not a Netflix person. I mean, yes, every now and then Netflix has maybe a movie or a show that may air on there or whatever, but there's not a lot on there that I don't know. There's not a lot on there that I watch. It's my least favorite streaming service. It's the last one I go to. I use Tubi, and then my Amazon, I've got Shudder, Screenbox, Stars, Showtime, Freevee, Midnight Pulp. We started using the Midnight Pulp for Nightmare Cafe, and that's actually they have some really good movies on there. Actually, I was checking that out. I also use my Hulu. Every now and then I'll get on Peacock, but I never get on Netflix. So I'm just like, eh. I see where they have to raise prices. Everybody's raising prices, y'all. Everybody. And it just goes down the line. When, let's say, the top person raised their price for a movie, now everybody else that's in that chain has to raise all their prices. It's just how it goes. I know everybody doesn't like it, but just get Tubi. It's free. But then I've seen people like, well, Tubi, I hate commercials. Well, it's free. So you're either going to be free and get commercials, or you're going to pay for it and not have commercials. You can't, that's how it is. So what can you say? What can you say? Let's see. I'm still waiting on a new Ghostface item. Like I said, I had ordered a Ghostface item from another company. Maybe that's the company. But I didn't order it from that company. I ordered it from Entertainment Earth. But that might be the company that has the Ghostface items I'm waiting on, though. I have to go back and look. But it could be. And they're really cool figures, too. I'll have to go look, though. I will do that when I get off of here. Definitely. 4K movies or just Blu-ray? Oh, no, I have tons of 4K movies. Oh, no. I buy it all. 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, whatever. Yeah, I get it. Whatever I want to upgrade to. Some stuff I don't really feel like upgrading. And some stuff I do. And some stuff I want every version of the movie. Some stuff I don't. So, yeah, oh, no, I get 4Ks. Trust me. I'm a big physical media person. I love physical media. It is my most favorite thing to collect. I actually would rather collect movies if I had a choice than anything else. Than the toys. I love my shirts though too. But I would have to say physical. I've always been physical media person. I've always bought, and it excites me to buy movies, especially like when I go to a convention and you have Vinegar Syndrome and Arrow and Severin, all the tables sitting there. Like I can't tell you how excited I get. And when I'm getting a movie, like it's a whole thing for me. I'm sure other people get excited too, right? But yeah, it's my favorite thing. So I'm very proud of my collection of movies. Very proud. I've come a long way. I know there's tons of people out there that have way more than I do. But I think I have a really pretty good collection, though. I think I've got some good stuff in my collection, too. So I'm pretty proud of my collection. Just saying. I think most everybody likes the physical media. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want digital. I'm not into the digital. Okay, so let's talk about the next topic really quick. Let's talk about The Crow, because that's what everybody's talking about as well. I seen, and I was kind of scrolling a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I don't I don't scroll a lot when I get on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not a person that sits around all day and scrolls and looks at stuff. But when I do, I did notice that the two topics that everybody is talking about right now, especially on Twitter or X, is Netflix and then The Crow. Because The Crow put out some pictures this morning. Bloody Disgusting put out some pictures from The Crow. And you lose access to the game. Oh, what? You don't technically. Oh, okay. You get banned when you lose. Oh, okay. Oh, did not know that. I like your name too. Stories of the Unknown. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not a Crow fan at all. I remember when the movie came out. And I remember, obviously, everything that happened around the movie. And that was big news back then. Big news. I did watch it, and I thought it was boring. How old was I, though? When did The Crow come out? How old was I? I can't remember. The Crow. 94. Okay, so yeah. I was 15. Yeah, 15. And yeah, I remember watching it and thinking it was pretty boring, but that's just me because again, I have always been a slasher fan, and I knew it wasn't horror because it's like it comes from books or comic books, right? See, I don't know much about The Crow, so I can't have much of an opinion on it because I really don't know much about it. I just thought that the original movie was boring. Have I watched the original movie since? Yes, and I still think it's boring. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. I know everybody hates it that I don't like Army of Darkness. You don't like it when I don't like Shaun of the Dead, and now I think The Crow is boring. I'm so sorry, but I do. I do think the character Eric Draven is a cool-looking character. I do have some collectibles of him. You know, I think it's cool. But I guess I don't know much about the Eric Draven character because I think that's what everybody is griping about, is that they don't like the look, the new look of him. Bill Skarsgård is playing him. I don't have an issue with him playing him, but apparently a lot of people do. And a lot of people were saying that he looks like Jared Leto's Joker. I'm not into those movies either, so I didn't watch that. But I know what y'all are talking about. I mean, I've seen pictures. I know what he looks like. So, yeah, he kind of does a little bit. So, apparently, Eric Draven isn't supposed to have tattoos, right? Right? That I don't know. So, that's what I'm asking. I think he's supposed to have longer hair, right? I don't know. They keep redoing things and then making things modern for the kids nowadays. And do we really need to do that? I don't know. I guess my question to everybody is, is that y'all's issue with it? The look, I guess, the look. You can't really judge a movie, though, until the movie comes out. Okay? You can't just look at two pictures and be like, oh, this movie's shit. Come on, y'all. I never do that. That's just ridiculous in my opinion. And you just see a picture and like, okay, the movie's shit. We don't know if the movie's going to be shit. You don't know yet. So just bring it down a notch. But I get if he's not supposed to look like that, then I understand that fans are not liking that. And I get that. Okay, fine, cool. But I'm going to say something. And I don't know if this will make people mad or not. Whatever. Somebody else said it to me. And I was like, yeah, I feel the same way. And I've kind of have always felt this way about the Crow movie. But I feel like The Crow was only popular because of what happened with the movie. It was popular because it was Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, playing the character. So everybody was excited about that because everybody loves Bruce Lee. And, oh, yes, his son, that was exciting. And it was exciting. I remember all this happening back then, and it was exciting. And then he got killed on set. I feel like that the popularity of that movie, it wouldn't be there if none of that happened. And it wouldn't be there if it wasn't Brandon Lee doing it. That's how I feel. I've had other people tell me the same thing, that they feel the same way. So I feel like its popularity is based upon it being Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, and then him dying. That's just me. Don't hate on me. I know a lot of people out there are thinking the same damn thing. You just don't want to say it. Well, I'll say it. There's so many different Crow variances they could go with. Why are there so many different Crow variances? See, I don't know that. So what do you mean by that? I know, like, he comes from like a book or comic books or something, right? So I don't know. I don't know. But my advice is, don't judge a movie based on a picture. Wait until the movie comes out, then make a judgment. I find it really kind of crazy that everybody gets so worked up and just starts, this movie's gonna be shit. All because of a picture. Chill. So, I'm just saying it. I'm saying what everybody's thinking. Right. Okay, so Michael the Mayor, he was excited for it because of the comic books. Right, and I get that. You were excited for the movie to come out. Right. But I feel like the popularity, though, of it happened only because of it being Brandon Lee and him dying on the movie set. I really don't think that The Crow would have been as popular over the years if all of that was not around it. I really don't. So, I have no interest in watching it, but like I just said, I'm not a Crow fan. So I have zero interest in watching that. I wanted to just talk about that though, because I noticed everybody else really likes The Crow and everybody's, generally upset. So I was just trying to ask everybody what you are upset about. Like what is it, But yeah. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Yep. Right. And everybody was excited. And I get that too, the Horde. And he was following Brandon's other films. I'm excited to see him. Yeah, and we all were at that time. I was excited about it only because, it was Brandon Lee. And I was a big Bruce Lee fan. So I was excited only because of that. I just feel like there's been such a stigma over this movie over the years that I just feel like it wouldn't have been as popular over the years, though, if it wasn't for all that. And then I just don't think that they probably should have made any more, I guess. I mean, after all that, right? I don't know. Brandon Lee looked fantastic, though. I mean, he did a great job in the movie. He looked great, I thought. Is that more authentic? Is the Brandon Lee Crow, is that more authentic to what's happening in the comic books and the books? Because I do not know. That's why I'm asking.
I read a couple of things where people are saying that It's not.
Philip's telling me something. Hold on.
Brandon Lee is not correct to the comic books, and neither is Bill Skarsgård.
So nobody is correct to the comic books. Okay.
That's what this person said.
Okay. So if we're going to do a Crow movie, why don't we just make it correct to the comic books then? So now that's my question.
I'll fire off an email.
So now I see why fans can be a little irritated. Okay. All right. Hey, Dan. Well, you've already missed me talking about the other 4 movies. I talked about Killer Workout, Death Spa, Don't Look Away, and House. And they're all on Tubi, so you can watch them all on Tubi. Right now, we're talking about The Crow, since that's just what everybody is talking about right now. He didn't die. He would have become a bigger actor. Maybe. Maybe. Edward Furlong Crow. Oh, that's right. He did do a Crow. Wasn't it like part 3 or 4 or something like that? Yeah, I forgot about that. I can see him doing that. So Brandon was very similar to the comics, because Philip just read to me that people are saying online that he's not. I'm so confused. You Crow fans are confusing me. Action began a few years later with Blade. What happened with Blade? See, I don't do comic books. So I don't know a lot of this comic book character stuff and comic book things. I've probably watched Blade maybe once. But I'm not a Wesley Snipes fan. So that's why I don't watch those. I'm just not a huge fan of his. I never have been. Except for White Men Can't Jump. I like that movie, but I like the whole movie. All right. Well, let's move on really quick, because I'm going to have to go. Let's talk about events happening at Nightmare Toys next month here in March. So we will be having, let me get to my March calendar. I have to write everything down. So Leah Vasoy, she was the Nightmare Cafe. I'm saying Nightmare Cafe. Clown Girl Cafe in Terrifier 2. She was the Clown Girl Cafe singer. She will be doing a signing from 4 to 7 on March 14th. So all you Art the Clown fans, you need to come out here to Nightmare Toys on March 14th, 4 to 7, and come meet Leah and get her to sign your Terrifier stuff. And then we will be at Days of the Dead, 15th, 16th, and 17th. So that will be fun. We'll have a little small booth there. If you're coming to that, we're just going to have a small booth. It'd be mainly me kind of sitting there and doing autographs. And I got a bunch of Valentine Bluffs Blu-rays to sell as well. So I'll have those at the table. But we really just want everybody to come to the store. I mean, it's literally right down from the Plaza Hotel where the Days of the Dead convention is at. The store and the restaurant are right down the street. So we really just want everybody to come here instead of us making some huge booth at a convention where everybody's just going to come to the store anyway. But if you want an autograph and come talk to me, Days of Dead would be a great time to do that, because I'll be there the whole weekend. And then we have St. Patrick's Day is that Sunday, and we'll do a St. Patrick's Day sale in the store that day too. So that'll be cool. And then the 23rd is our signing with Ginger Lynn. She'll be here from 5 to 7, and she's in Vegas promoting her new movie that will be premiering that same day called The Gifted. So that's going to be cool. And then I'm going to make a small appearance in the second one from that, in the sequel. So I'm excited about that. I've got some movie stuff happening for myself I'm very excited about. I won't make an announcement yet about something. I will let them make the announcement. But lots of fun things happening for myself coming up with me being in a few movies. So I'm very, very excited about that. Pool Party Massacre Part 2, I'm definitely going to be in, so I can tell you that. Desert Fiends will be coming out soon. And then we're also going to be doing Skate to Hell as well. If you've seen any of that, we'll be doing that. So lots of fun stuff coming. Can't wait. Oh, yes. The Leprechaun movie, definitely on St. Patrick's Day. I will be at the con, so I won't be able to watch it. But that Wednesday before, we'll probably watch it at Nightmare Cafe for our Wednesday night watch party, and we'll do Leprechaun that week. So that'll be fun. And then tonight, if you are here in Las Vegas right now, come to Nightmare Cafe tonight at 7 o'clock. We're going to be showing The Evil Dead, the OG, original Evil Dead. So come watch Evil Dead with me. Come have a drink with me. It'll be tons of fun. So we do that every Wednesday. So make sure you come do that. Oh, I hope you liked Valentine Bluffs. Let's see. Just reading everybody's stuff. All right. What else did I want to talk about? I think that's really about it, y'all. I think we're done. Yep. So, again, Killer Workout, Death Spa, Don't Look Away, In-House, all 4 movies I just reviewed are all on Tubi. Please go check that out. If you come into my store, this is not for sale. It's my house. I love this house. Oh my God, it's so much fun. And then make sure you come to our events in March and come see us at Days of the Dead and our signing with Leah and our signing with Ginger. And be on the lookout for some more movie announcements with me. So excited. All right, guys. Next week, I'm not sure what movie we are going to talk about for the podcast. This week was House. So you can watch the podcast on Friday. Listen to me and Brian talk about House. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We will come up with something and I will tell y'all, to be determined. Okay, guys, I have a million things to go do. So I will talk to y'all later. I love you guys. Thank you for joining in. I love talking with you guys every Wednesday. And I will see y'all next Wednesday. So stay spooky. Bye.